if you submit and he knows what headship means, I'm telling you, you're going to live a dream. But if we're wrestling over these things, we're going to live a nightmare. Amen. And also, so submission is this. It's only possible when you first know that we're equals, and we're equals in a covenant. So the leading of the Lord is to make yourself or take on an attitude of submission. The word is more offensive than the practice. So the idea of submitting to a man or a husband is sometimes an offensive idea. Can I hear just a little wave? You don't have to make a thing of it. It's hard, hey? But actually the practice of it in its right application is different. So submission in marriage is a voluntary attitude. Amen. So it's an attitude that I bring to marriage based on who I am in the out of the two options. Can I say this again? Based on who I am out of the two options in humanity. Okay, so he made man. I should be getting some amens. He made them male and female. So the female is a little bit more feminine and softer, and she not weaker and not inferior, but by nature she is more gentle. She is maternal. But the husband, being the man, he is stronger and he is a bit rougher. And how else can you describe us? I mean, obviously amazing, but he's paternal. So his instincts are different. Amen. Our instincts are different, but the diversity of our instincts actually complement each other. So it's amazing how we can be trying to protect our maternal or feminine rights within marriage, and we try to become the strength of the husband, so not to be forced to be subordinate to the husband. It's messing with the plan. You are made feminine, you are made soft and gentle for a reason, and actually he needs that to function and flow freely without you feeling threatened or looked down upon in the marriage. So equality is the foundation. Equality and humility are the foundation for this thing working together. So submission is an attitude. It's not a license to the husband. It's a leading, it's guidance to the wife. It's not telling the husband everything you say. I've never heard of or thought of the most ridiculous thing, and more ridiculous thing than this is that everything the husband could say in a marriage is right. Now we know that's laughable. Let's have a laugh. Come on, man. Let's have a laugh. We might have started out like that, but you learn quickly that most things you say are not right. I'm only playing. But a lot that we say is not right. The idea is not that she's subordinate to my every word and instruction. This is ridiculous. This is the propagation of the oppression that we're seeing multiplying on the earth today and in the church. Submission is an attitude. It's voluntary. It means I married the man I love, okay? And even if I didn't, the marriage design, the makeup of it is my position is to actually come under and strengthen him with my strengths. It's a position. It's not a suffering. It's not a license. It's not a release to him, to me, to do and say whatever I want, whenever I want. Actually, the word suggests it's a ministry. So it is service. There's service in marriage, of course. But think of service. The proper word for service in our context is ministry. And so the wife ministers to the husband in her diverse or unique way. And it has everything to do with her makeup and how she was made. And obviously every lady is unique, but every lady has commonalities. Amen. In marriage, your responsibility is to minister to him, to know and to yield to an intuitive function that knows what he needs. It is not to clean up after him. Can I hear an amen? Amen. But I want you to know you can still do that. Don't nitpick. No, but I'm serious. It's submission is not to run behind him. You can do that. But that's not the biblical description. There's nothing wrong with that, though. It's an attitude I bring towards him in marriage. Is I choose to love my husband in this way. And only I have an intuition about him. Well, how do you have an intuition about what are you talking about now? Well, the intuition that actually happened in marriage is that we were joined spiritually and physically in marriage. So there is a knowing beyond our knowing of what one of us need when our hearts are positioned humbly in service of one another. This is what submission is. I commit myself to ministry to my husband, and a lot of my ministry is going to be in my spirit, out of my intuition. I know what he needs. Isn't it amazing that only Ches knows me like Ches? Nobody on the planet, not one person on the planet knows me like my wife knows me. And if her focus, her commitment in the covenant is me, then she's going to know where I'm at. Not that I must tell her, but she's going to know in my rough times, my dark times, where I'm at and what I need. Not what you need, what I need, because she's married to me. This is what submission is. It's not subservient, but it's in service of. Amen. Yeah. So headship, are we clear on that? It's an attitude we bring to marriage that actually awakens the grace of marriage for the wife, for your husband. Amazing. Headship. This is only put into practice when we know we are equal in the marriage covenant. You are the counterbalance. I am the counterbalance for my wife's femininity. Chauvinism does not work in marriage. Hey, who's the boss? Does not work in marriage. But strength to protect, to provide in the way she needs. I'm going to speak about that in a moment. What she lacks, I have, And so her needs for safety, protection, and strength are found in me. You could even use the word covering. Has anybody ever heard the word covering? Like covering. So sometimes just completely misconstrued or misinterpreted. My covering of my wife is not her functioning fully as long as she has my covering. My covering is my attitude, my commitment to the covenant. It's to bring a strength and protection that's in line with my makeup, as I'm the stronger one. So physically, I'm going to be motivated to bring safety to her. Safety with my words, safety in our environment, and safety in our relationship. Amen. My provision for my wife, the provision for everything my household puts in their mouth, of course it's a burden for me, but that's not the biblical call in the marriage. This is an inward grace that is between a husband and wife. It's unseen stuff that enriches each other. Amen. Yeah. Anyway. But what she needs is in me. And if I bend myself to that, what I'm doing is I'm creating a strength so I'm trying to just avoid some words, but I'm creating a strength like Jesus, who showed perfect headship in suffering love. So the wife brings an attitude of submission, and the husband brings a willingness to suffer in love for the wife and the household. And if we can bring these two things together, we start to experience the power of oneness, echad, like the garden, like we would never imagine. Can you see the difference that if we're fighting for our rights, or who's wrong and right, is the shallowest version of our marriage experience. If we spend our years fighting over who's right, we are not touching, not even a little bit of what God had in mind for your marriage.